Hi, it's Kasian, and it's time for a weekly conference call at VectorspaceAI. We'll start with what's happening globally. Supply chain issues persist with ripple effects, including an oil spill in Southern California. Layoffs continue related to vaccine mandates. On the industry side, Bloomberg is reporting that Bank of America launches research for too large to ignore digital assets. And continuing, the nation's second largest bank by assets starts coverage 3 months after creating a crypto research group. Next, our DNA is becoming the world's tiniest hard drive. Our genetic code is millions of times more efficient at storing data than existing solutions, which are costly and use immense amounts of energy and space. In fact, we could get rid of hard drives and store all digital data on the planet within a couple hundred pounds of DNA. There's also a connection to DNA computing and blockchain. If anyone would like to do any research on that, your keyword would be DNA computing. A Chinese company aims for suborbital space tourism with familiar rocket design. A Chinese company is aiming to provide rides to space for tourism as soon as 2024, apparently drawing inspiration from the exploits of Blue Origin. And this is being reported by space.com. This relates to the next headline. Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, is launching William Shatner on October 12th on a tourist spaceflight. And continuing, William Shatner is scheduled to launch on the next crewed spaceflight of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. The company plans to fly the Canadian actor, who famously played Captain Kirk in the original Star Trek television series, as one of the passengers on the company's new Shepard rocket. The launch is planned for October 12th with a crew of 4, also including Planet Labs co-founder Chris Boschwiezen and Mediadata co-founder Glenn DeVries. And that's being reported all over the news. NASA will launch a spacecraft next month to hit an asteroid on purpose to change its path, testing for the first time a method of planetary defense, the agency announced Tuesday. A nearby asteroid contains more than 11 trillion in precious metals. And there is conversation related to multiple asteroids being worth trillions, and of course that connects to space biosciences. It also connects to the financial markets. When the world starts mining its first $1 trillion asteroid, it will have an effect on the global economy, as a single asteroid is worth more than all of the global economy. One of those asteroids. Eric Schmidt is to helm the National Artificial Intelligence Emerging Technologies Project. Former Google CEO and billionaire Eric Schmidt said on October 5th that he is launching the Special Competitive Studies Project, SCSP, a national initiative to recommend ways to strengthen U.S. capabilities in artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies, as reported by DefenseDaily.com. And in a similar vein, with another headline, National Geospatial Agency boss reveals data strategy. The National Geospatial Agency, Intelligence Agency, the NGA, has a new strategy for tackling the torrent of data pouring into the organization from all over the world. And it relies on automation, artificial intelligence, and improving access to information. The NGA is the U.S. intelligence community's go-to agency for processing and analyzing satellite imagery. It transforms sensor data collected by the National Reconnaissance Office, among other government and military entities, into usable intelligence products. David Sharp, director of the NGA, outlined 4 major focus areas guiding its data investments. Number 1, quoting, "First, we have to have data that can be intuitively discovered, easily accessed, and responsibly shared with those who need it. Second, we have to improve data assets so that we can be easily reused. They can be easily reused for both anticipated and unanticipated purposes. Third, our customers and workforce have to be able to efficiently find data across different security domains. And lastly, we need artificial intelligence and machine learning to enhance our production capacity. Next, we've got themes and events. And Eureka Alert is reporting that the University of Toledo scientists have developed an experimental vaccine against rheumatoid arthritis. So vaccines related to rheumatoid arthritis will be generating baskets with potential returns, positive returns, as those would be long baskets. Reuters is reporting Containergeddon. This Containergeddon, the supply crisis, drives Walmart and rivals to hire their own ships. And this connects to our global headline related to supply chain issues. This is one of the ripple effects, and this could result in a number of basket plays. For example, submitting the entire press release to our platform will generate a network of baskets, long and short side. Next, we've got corporate. And under corp, we've got continuing hires happening under HR. And on the legal side, we are waiting for our EIN number, employee identification number, or tax ID number, as we've domiciled in the U.S. We are also working with our legal arm to provide PPMs, these are private placement memorandums, for equity investment groups. And next, we'll have a condensed section here. We're going to combine engineering, product, QA, and ops with customers, partners, and collaborators. And in that vein, we're going to be repurposing our demos that we've developed for the trading show in Chicago for UCL and ICL. We've put a lot of work into the visualization of these demos, and we've actually innovated a bit here, which means that we are providing better ways of interpreting the data, gaining insights from the data based on the way it's being visualized now, the way relationship networks are being visualized. And that connects to the explainability of your model, our model. We'll then be moving in to protein-to-protein relationship networking. And this would include graph networks of proteins with similarity based on sequence. Next, under this condensed section, we've got a meeting with Morningstar. And this relates to the Morningstar notebook offering, the joint offering that we'll be discussing with Morningstar. We also have an upcoming meeting with Azure Space. And here's what we'll be focusing on during the next few weeks in order of priority. All engineering, visualization, design, and strategy will revolve around these critical path milestones. The following critical path milestones. But first, it's important to note and remember that our academic collaborations will forge our path to consequential revenue, along with the most powerful forms of IR, PR, and Marcom efforts a company can have pipelined. If anyone would like to understand why, feel free to send us any questions or comments. We would encourage anyone that's interested in reading a bit about our collaborations to review our proposals, collaboration proposals. These proposals are not from us. They are from UCL, University College of London, and a proposal from Imperial College of London. These proposals relate to affecting space policy and space law, as we discussed in our last call with UCL, in addition to the protein-to-protein relationship network. Both collaborators have shown interest in the protein similarity networks, the graph networks, in addition to networking pathways related to mitophagy, the mitophagy pathways. And it's also important to note that Morningstar does have access and sway over 99% of most financial companies in the world, and that will provide us with access in terms of distribution and sales and marketing channels. So number one, we'll be focusing on UCL, University College London. Number two, ICL, Imperial College of London. And number three, legal technology. We're, as mentioned in the past calls, we are going to be focusing on a summarization model for summarizing depositions, and of course that is a quick path to revenue, along with a few other initiatives. And number four, we will be focusing on corporate investment, strategic investment, and this would include dialogues with the corporate investment arms of some of our large partners, such as Azure Space, along with a few other groups, Morningstar included. And five, we've got Morningstar listed here. And we are going to put a heavy focus, as we do have a meeting with them related to the notebook offering combined with Datasets. And we have a pretty good relationship with Morningstar. We're pretty happy working with them. They're happy with working with us, and we're going to go the distance with them. Anything not in the critical path of deliverables just mentioned, or milestones associated above, will be put on ice. Next, we've got corporate strategy, business development, sales, and marketing. And we can mention that we were in Chicago at the Trading Show. This is a trade show called The Trading Show. This gave us a chance to showcase some of our work, including visualizations. It gave us a chance to speak a little bit about language modeling, and it also gave us a chance to distinguish ourselves as the first space biosciences company ever to visit the Chicago Trading Show, the Trading Show in Chicago. So we certainly made a mark, and a positive one. And that enabled us to plant a lot of seeds. How fast those seeds will grow, we don't know, but we know that they will be growing. Next, we'll move to, before we move on, also under corporate strategy, biz dev, sales and marketing, Morningstar and S&P. As mentioned, they will be representing our sales and marketing arms at this point. Next, we've got our exchanges section, and we can comment that we have that in process. Everything is steady as she goes there. We are talking with more than one exchange, and we are in the pipeline. Next, we've got IR, PR, and Marcom, and that connects directly to our academic collaborators, UCL and ICL, in addition to Morningstar as well. Next, we've got questions from the trader base. Question one, you mentioned the focus is on big parties to create revenue like Morningstar and S&P. Are SigTech considered a big party? Are S&P and Morningstar issuing PR this week? So we have a multi-part question here. And first off, the group SigTech we are using as a third-party backtester. We're going to be working with multiple groups, not just SigTech. There are a variety of groups, as we've worked with in the past, that will validate our backtests by providing a third-party outside assessment. And that's what we are using SigTech for. So the relationship with groups like SigTech are very much different than the relationships with larger groups like Morningstar, S&P. However, there's obvious synergy where S&P and Morningstar would take back tests that are provided by any third party that we work with. And in terms of issuing PR this week, we are not providing timing on that. we can say that timing is up to them and the ball's in their court this time. Question 2. Were the companies and investment funds, where are the companies and investment funds getting their VXV tokens for utility or research? If they get from exchanges, then it will boost price. But if VXV privately sell or grant them from buybacks or reverse supply, then I am not sure how it will help to pump price for retail investors. The answer to that question is focus on consequential revenue, and all else will follow. Question 3. Does Space Biosciences have a quickest path to revenue compared to financial institutions? I definitely see the incredible market opportunity and long tail effects, but I'm still trying to better understand exactly how many dollars can be earned from being in this industry, and if there are any similar profit-driven companies in the space which VXV can be compared to. Well, first off, it's extremely important to know and understand that our financial market customers, you know what they love best about us? That we're not in the financial markets, that we're a space biosciences company. That's how you affect business and deals. If you want deal flow, you need to be offering something unique, and you need to come from a unique space. That's how you provide edge. So we can say that the quickest path to revenue may not always be a direct path. Our academic collaborations will result in a quick path to revenue. Roundabout. It may not seem quick, but it's certainly quicker than taking other paths. The reason for that is that we are validated and vetted. If you are not validated as a scientific and technology company, people will not have confidence in you. It's very important for our financial market customers to have confidence in what we do. And the best way to exude that confidence is to have sealed deals in the sciences and validation within the sciences. We can also say that innovations in space biosciences result in products and services for the financial markets, but more importantly, in personalized medicine for all humankind. And eventually we'll be talking about trillion-dollar asteroids. Question 4. I know there's been talks about leasing datasets. However, has there been talks of leasing VXV? I know Parsec has a riskless lending protocol that is connected to CoinMetro. There must be a potential money spinner right there after buybacks kick off. Also another way for institutional demand to be met as the supply diminishes. CoinMetro have the contacts to help you make this happen. Okay, so first off, we are not in the business of attracting the attention of the SEC, and that's exactly how you attract the attention of the SEC. Leasing VXV. The datasets are equivalent to VXV. VXV is equivalent to the datasets. The value of VXV is driven by the value of the datasets. That's extremely important to remember. What this also means is that you are not going to find our company soaking up the supply. That's not what you do. You create product and demand for real product. Not fake demand based on soaking up your supply with gimmicks. That's not what we do, and we will never be doing that. Question 5. What would happen to my VXV if my government shuts down Probit, for example? So Probit is a Korean exchange that we trade on, And there has been regulatory pressure in South Korea and pressure on exchanges because of that. We can say maybe something that many have heard before: you simply should not be keeping your crypto on exchanges. Question 6. Does the legal side of business provide a summarization of documents required to use VXV token? If so, in what sense is the token useful? So this is a good question. If we provide legal technology, if we enter the legal technology space, which we've been in before, and are providing summarizations for depositions, is VXV required? Absolutely. Summarizations require a data set. Not many people know this, but one of the most effective ways to engage in extractive summarization is to use a priori data, or pre-trained models. Your pre-trained model is based on a data set. That data set is going to need to be secure, number one. Data provenance, data lineage, and data governance are going to need to be applied to that data set. So creating hashes of that data set on-chain is the best way to accomplish that. That also means providing access based on the VXV wallet-enabled API to any summarizations. So yes, any service that we provide that connects to data sets we offer also connects to VXV and the VXV wallet-enabled API, but more importantly, data provenance, data lineage, data governance, and data security. You're going to want to know who touched your data set, who made calculations, where it's been, if there were any modifications that were unauthorized, timestamps, date stamps, all kinds of things that you might think of when you're trying to control source code. Question 7. Could you share an ETA for KuCoin's listing? I know there's been a lot of questions about it, but we are very excited about this. We cannot provide an ETA on another company's ability to list. What we can say is that when you list a high-value asset, exchanges cater to you. Exchanges kind of date you in one respect. That's if you're a high-value asset. So as our value increases as a company, we anticipate, just as NASDAQ and NYSE fought over listing Google or Facebook, in the future you will have crypto exchanges fighting over who to list in terms of valuable assets. In the meantime, we'd encourage everyone to focus on consequential revenue, because everything else will follow. Next, we'll move to our strategy section. And we'd just like to mention that for any trade shows we attend, if we have the time, seeds are sown. And once again, to reiterate, how long does it take to grow before it's harvest time? We'll find out. The bottom line is, again, for any trade show, we'll be stealing the show as a space biosciences company, with products and services for all industries. And next, we'd like to mention on a different note that one of the reasons SpaceX became successful was that it saw that NASA was underfunded. It saw that innovation came to a crawl. The same is happening with NASA's Space Biosciences units. We are going to be working with them in terms of collaborating on language modeling. And our first group will be related to the NASA Gene Lab platform. Next, we have our meeting with Morningstar October 14th. We'll be talking to them not only about notebook offerings, their offering of notebooks, encasing datasets, providing access to datasets, but we'll also be talking with them about the investment club. And if for some reason Morningstar cannot accommodate, for regulatory reasons related to crypto, We don't know. If they cannot accommodate, we'll move to S&P in terms of working with them on the investment club. And if that doesn't work, we'll move to others. And all of these will be based, of course, on a revenue sharing agreement or share on the net returns. Short side and long side. And in conclusion, we'd like to encourage everyone to visit our subreddit on Reddit. You can find us at r/VectorspaceAI, one word. This concludes our weekly call. Thank you for joining. You can see us online.